Sigma guys have a whole distinct set of reasons for not approaching women, while most men do it out of fear of being rejected. They are seen as the lone wolf, who seeks approval from nothing or no one. Although they are not loners or anti-socialists as most people believe, they regularly defy societal standards and live by their own set of values. Here are 11 reasons why they no longer approach women. 1. Creating irrational expectations. Sigma guys prefer more subdued methods that don't entail faking or playing games, so they aren't impressed by the normal phony motions women employ to attempt to grab attention. Sigmas place a high value on authenticity and are able to spot the false facade that women put on. These idealized depictions of perfection have become the standard for how women should seem in today's culture, where we are continuously exposed to glossy magazine covers featuring Photoshopped models. However, the majority of women are unable to live up to these unattainable standards. The quest for physical perfection may be detrimental to women's mental and physical health, in addition to being false and impossible. Because of this, Sigma guys will only approach women who are sincere, real, and grounded. They choose women who recognize their uniqueness and unique attractiveness. 2. Being difficult to obtain. Despite the fact that women are more strong and self-assured than ever, they tend to make it difficult for other males to approach them. Sigma guys don't find this kind of game satisfying, even if it could make you feel good when you eventually win her over. Since everyone is aware of how the game works and it doesn't take a genius to figure out what the other person is attempting to achieve, they really find such conduct disgusting since it is too predictable and unoriginal. They don't want to spend their time and energy on something that doesn't actually offer much, and this kind of engagement tires them. Want a previously played game of chess? Sigmas would want to find something new and intriguing to study. Although it may sometimes work, playing hard to get is not exactly a strategy that Sigma appreciates. Because they value content above all else, which may be hard to find in today's superficial dating market, Sigma men prefer to steer clear of women who put an excessive amount of emphasis on physical looks. Nowadays, dating has become less about personality and more about looks. Sigmas utterly deny that people are evaluated only on their appearance. They just don't believe that beauty is the most significant factor in a relationship, which is not to suggest that they don't value it. Although Sigma men are sometimes seen as being archaic and out of touch, they are really quite contemporary and would never compromise on their essential ideals, which makes them unique. These guys always prefer quality over quantity when it comes to women and won't settle for anything less than what they deserve, since they seem to have a sixth sense that enables them to see beyond outward appearances to the real selves of individuals. 4. For a male, nothing is more disgusting than seeing a lady absorbed in her phone. Despite the fact that technology is a big part of everyday life, they are unable to separate from it and engage with their environment. Individuals need to learn how to balance it. Sigma men find it quite unpleasant when women are always on their phones because they are able to disconnect from technology and appreciate the moment. Sigmas see this as an indication of impatience and lack of attention, two qualities that are detrimental in any kind of relationship. They also find it annoying when individuals put technology before their relationships or become so caught up in monitoring their social media feeds that they lose sight of reality. 5. Sigma thieves like playing games since they are too young for the typical dating game that is often played between men and women. They are honest and direct about their intentions, which puts them in a disadvantageous position because they don't want to play mind games or engage in any kind of power struggle. Although some people may find their directness intimidating, Sigmas are loyal and don't waste time trying to impress someone who doesn't share their interests. Instead, they wait for the woman to come around to their way of thinking before making a move. This is why they don't typically approach women. Instead, they sit back and watch until the right one comes along. While it may take longer for Sigma men to find a compatible partner, it's usually worth the wait because they will eventually find someone who shares their values and outlook on life. 6. Ignoring eye contact. Eye contact avoidance often gives the impression that the other person is evasive or hiding something from them. Additionally, it displays an inward uneasiness that immediately turns Sigmas off. In any conversation, maintaining eye contact is essential since it shows that you are trustworthy and have no secrets. Sigmas hate it when people avoid eye contact because it demonstrates a lack of honesty and sincerity. Because it shows respect and confidence, a self-assured woman will never be afraid to look a guy in the eye. However, if a woman avoids eye contact at all, it's probably because she is too afraid or uncomfortable to stand up for herself, which isn't attractive to SIGMAS. I won't talk about it since every man knows that avoiding eye contact might also mean that she is not interested in you and is not prepared to attempt to start a conversation. 7. Dating and relationship dynamics have changed as a result of social media. Hollywood and social media have significantly altered men's expectations while looking for a partner, which has negatively impacted their mental health. Sigma males are aware that many women have irrational expectations about the conduct or looks of the perfect spouse. They do not want to be held to these standards and feel compelled to try to meet them. Sigmas steer clear of the shallow online world where individuals are judged by how many likes or followers they have because they understand the impact that appearance can have on relationships. They prefer face-to-face interactions instead, which is why they dislike women who prioritize their social media presence above developing real connections. Women have been persuaded by far too many online gurus and influencers that they need to act and look a certain way to attract a man. But the reality is that a lot of men like honesty, and they will be turned off by attempts to pass for someone else. 8. Sigmas are not in need. Nothing is worse than a desperate man trying to get a woman's attention. It's like a drowning man trying to save himself with little possibility of success. Since desperation is a sign of immaturity, Sigma people never exhibit it. They exhibit their own value and worth without being needy or clingy, having enough self-assurance to avoid the necessity for such tactics. Women are drawn to Sigma males because they are thought of being enigmatic and challenging to acquire. It would be wiser for them to sit back, take their time, and wait until they sense that connection before moving further. Relationships are approached by Sigma stone with the belief that they need another person to fill a gap. They don't make an effort to win over others since they are aware of who they are. 9. Being too sentimental. Sigmas should be able to manage their emotional conduct. Although they acknowledge the importance of emotions in life, they also understand how important it is to refrain from being excessively connected and overreacting. Because it makes them uncomfortable and clearly shows that they lack emotional control, they don't enjoy it when others behave too emotional all the time and wear their emotions on their sleeves. They exhibit maturity and a respect for peace and quiet by avoiding any circumstance that could spark strife or anarchy. On the other hand, since Sigma men like composure and maturity in women, they tend to steer clear of excessively emotional women who are often creating a ruckus. Women who are constantly willing to dispute or engage in a heated argument are avoided by them. Since Sigmas like women who are self-assured and able to maintain composure under duress, emotional instability is a major red flag for them. 10. A lack of self-awareness. Too many women are ignorant of their own words and deeds and the impact they may have upon others. This often leads to miscommunications and disputes that may have been prevented if the woman had been more self-aware. This isn't just true for women, of course, but most males don't like it. Although some women may find this challenging, Sigma men like partners who can admit when they are mistaken and be forthright about it without placing the blame elsewhere or offering an explanation. They don't want to put up with someone who constantly dodges accountability and offers justifications. Self-awareness goes hand in hand with confidence and self-esteem, two qualities that disease finds alluring. 11. Surface-level conversations. This issue affects more than simply dating, it affects all forms of communication. Sigma men engage in intellectual debate, discussing ideas, prefer deep and perceptive talks than shallow ones. Instead of focusing just on someone's looks, they want to learn more about them and discover the core of who they are. Since it is a waste of time and energy, they steer clear of small chat. It is insufficient to discuss the weather, the latest rumors, or your dinner plans. Sigmas like discussions that push them, inspire a sense of zest for life, and delve deeply into subjects. This is not to imply that all women are capable of engaging in such dialogues. On the contrary, if she just engages in lil chat, the Sigma will not be interested in her for very long.